he had and still has. He wanted everyone to bring heaven into this earth through love and joy that comes from raising a family.
Amen.
It's
Shut
beautiful.
up.
Charlie always said that if he ever ran for office, I know a lot of you asked if he ever was going to, but privately he told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. That was his priority. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children. He showed the ultimate and true covenantal love. I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart. I honestly have no idea what any of this means. I know that God does, but I don't. But Charlie, baby, I know you do too. I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with evil. But our God, you guys, our God is so good. He's so incredibly good. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow him. He could always find the ones who could handle any setback. And it's almost like he knew. He could see it in you. Even when you couldn't see it in yourself, he just knew. He knew you could handle it. You thought you only had 5% left, and he knew you had 15. He knew you were ready to go that extra mile even when you didn't. He always challenged people around him to work harder and to be better. He never gave up. And I love knowing that one of his mottos was never surrender. So I want to tell you that we'll never surrender. We never will. Ever. ever. Our campus tour this fall will continue. There will be even more tours in the years to come. America Fest here in Phoenix this December will go on. It will be greater than ever. The radio and podcast show that he was so proud of will go on. And in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain. And it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever. And his wisdom will endure. My favorite too, but my husband's favorite word in the English language was earn. He would call all of you to be people of action who earn the future America deserves. So to all of the young people who felt inspired by my husband's faith and hard work, all of you already know what Charlie would want you to do. You know. You know. If you're in high school or if you're in college, go find your local Turning Point USA chapter. Join it. Stay involved. He wants you to make a difference. And you can. You can. The movement's not going anywhere, and it will only grow stronger when you join it. If there isn't a chapter, you can't find one, then start one. There is no excuse. You can start one. And as my husband used to say in this room, every single day, if you want to get involved, the best way you can do that is going to tpusa.com. That's what he would say every day from this chair. Every single day. I watched his show every day, and he would always say, if you want to get involved, go to tpusa.com. If you're a pastor, join our movement at TPUSA Faith. And if you're a parent, I highly recommend that you come to America Fest in December. Sign up right now for that because we would love to see you. I would love to see you. Charlie would. He'll be there. He'll be there in spirit. Bring your kids, bring your family. But most important of all, if you aren't a member of a church, I beg you to join one. A Bible-believing church. Our battle is not simply a political one. Above all, it is spiritual. It is spiritual. The spiritual warfare is palpable. Charlie loved his Savior with all of his heart, and he wanted every one of you to know him too. He wanted everyone to know that if they confess the Lord Jesus Christ who rose from the dead, then they will be saved. Hear me when I say this, nobody is ever too young to know the gospel. Nobody. Nobody is ever too young to get involved with saving this beautiful country, this country my husband loved and still loves. And nobody is ever too old either. There's no age limit. I know my husband is still here. He's watching over us. I don't remember the last time I slept. I couldn't sleep last night. And Charlie, baby. Charlie, I promise I will never let your legacy die, baby. I won't. I promise I'll make Turning Point USA the biggest thing that this nation has ever seen. I promise. Charlie, I love you. I love you, baby. Rest in the arms of our Lord as he blankets you with the words I know your heart always strived to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. When I got home last night, Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms. And I talked to her and she said, Mommy, I missed you. I said, I miss you too, baby. She goes, where's Daddy? What do you tell She's 3. I said, baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget. And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness, Charlie, you alongside Jesus right now, doing what you always want to do, baby. Making heaven crowded, right? That's what it's all about. Making heaven crowded. I can't wait to see you again one day. Thank you all again who love my husband, who supported him, who wrote him an email every single day during his radio show. He read all of them. All of them. God bless you all. And may God bless America.
All right. That was pretty tough. Number 1, Pepper, learn to read the fucking room.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know what your issue is or
my
why
comedy
you keep
mind.
talking.
And also I'm Canadian,
no comedy.
so it might
There's
not be...
stop. There's no comedy built into any of what we were watching at all.
No, not
what
the topic.
Fucking brain fart did you have to make you think I'm gonna make this funny? Like nowhere in this moment did anyone think that should be funny.
Well,
literally
can
nobody.
I explain why?
And being Canadian is not an excuse. There's like
there's a disconnect.
We have so many fucking Canadians who watch us and join our panels who still know in this moment I should
I didn't know
probably
who this
my
person
fucking mouth.
was that well.
Oh my God.
So for some people it might be
hold on. What does the title say? What does the fucking title say right here on this show? What does the title say?
Charlie Kirk and Irina.
Okay. And now what did that video say that I had pulled up? Erica Kirk.
You want me to give your response, right?
I want you to explain why you're tarded right now.
So it's media, but I shouldn't really divulge on why, and I just shouldn't do it. But it's a media thing, and I'm not going to get into it.
Pepper, this was a widow. She was speaking about on behalf of her husband and her family. It's a very tragic scenario, man.
I don't know how to respond here. I could respond honestly, but I feel like I should just shut up.
Kind of help a little.
Well, when I tell you to shh, the first 2 times.
I know. I really felt compelled to say amen at that time, right? Because it was hard hitting. Have kids, guys.
Oh, Jesus Lord.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
Thank you. I accept your apology. Okay, moving on. That was incredibly powerful in terms of, I think that shows a lot of strength on Erica's position and the idea of we're not backing down. We're going to keep pushing. Wow. That takes a lot of, especially this all being so fresh and very much just happened. And for her to come out the gate and say, we're still moving forward. That just shows a lot of strength right there. Marte, any thoughts from you?
When it really, like, you ever hear when somebody talks and it hits you right in the throat? She was speaking about the battle cry heard around the world, and that really hit me. And then she talked about her daughter asking for her father. How do you explain this? This is really tough to hear. So.
Yeah. Duck, any thoughts from you, darling?
Yeah, I just wanted to hop up and share this. Can you guys hear me okay? By the way, I'm on mobile.
I'm clear, man.
Okay, so obviously I've never lost a spouse, but my friend Alex was one of the guys killed at the Aurora shooting in Colorado. And in for whatever reason, just the way brains and society works, like the grieving and sense making process can sometimes take a decade. And so I think it was very courageous of Mrs. Kirk, of Erica, to step on stage to speak to the public, who people who care about her and want to make sure that she's doing okay. And so I would encourage people on both sides to sort of recognize that you know she's going through a grieving process. She's managing a lot, and I think kind of taking her words at face value. I don't think the turning point is going to be okay. There's a lot of people that are going to make sure Charlie's legacy is taken care of, and again, just a lot of people behind her, pushing through with all of her responsibilities and family duties. It's heartbreaking to imagine what she's going through, and it's terrifying to imagine the scope of the responsibility. And it's terrifying that all of this has the backdrop of horrendous tragedy and violence against Mr. Kirk. That's it.
Thank you, Doc. Pepper, did you have any thoughts about what you watched?
Not about what I watched, but about the whole incident. Like, what's with the schools? What's with schools and psychos? Like, at all of those debates, it looks like everyone's in danger, and it has been for like the last 10 years with how irate college campus students get in those seminar rooms. Like, they're insane. If you go watch those videos, like, you can see how unhinged. So like, what's with the schools? Like, what's with the education system to produce such maniacs?
Pepper, I think you're kind of tone deaf right now. We were just witnessing a widow talk, and witnessing your body language is crazy right now. The smirks and all that. I'm going to be the asshole in the room right now and just point that out.
I mean, so listen to a reasoning for why I do that. So I'm a hard empath, and with media, I have enough people in my own life to empathize with that. Like, do I really want to do this to myself and connect hard? And because I am a hard empath, like, so it's media, and I choose to not hard engage, like, with the empathy portion, and I'd rather talk about the event itself. But that's fine. Like, I'm not willing to actually do that right now. I'm in too good of a place, and
why are you on a panel then? I'm just curious.
Well, I'm interested in the topic at hand, and what I thought about her speech is it was powerful. It was well said. She hit some points, like you said, with the battle cry, that I resonated with. I
Can I
don't
say
agree
something?
with the term assassination, because we don't know that yet. That's one thing. I think it's pretty dangerous rhetoric to be calling it an assassination, because then that means that it was paid for, right? It was hired, and that
Pepper,
means...
let me jump in there. Let me jump in on that. So
Let me go ahead. Someone paid to boot you back. You got another 10 minutes, Pepper.
So
right.
My friend Alex, in the movie theater in Aurora, Colorado, was shot multiple times in the back, and then a .223 round went through the back of his head while he was shielding his girlfriend. And so it took, and so I just want to point out that a master's student in psychology was killed by a neuroscientist in this school shooting that happened close to, I forgot the year. I can't think of it right now. And so, I just want to point out that a guy shielding his girlfriend was shot repeatedly by a person who was clad in body armor. And this is just how fragile our psychologies and our brains are, and how violence in society happens. And so, the reason I bring this up is some people want to confront violence head on. And there's a lot of ways to consider why violence is never an option. And the complexity of even a sort of what appears to be a lone actor in this case is indeed a huge tragedy. It's complex, and there's not really words that can describe the sort of depths of the suffering that events like this cause.
I do want to address what Pepper said about the we don't know if it's an asset. Like we don't know. Like, but saying that it's not one, and I think it's very odd that they call it this. Like, I don't know where his rhetoric is coming from, but maybe I'm just irrational here. Maybe I'm crazy, Sarah. So
Assassination defined is the action of assassinating someone, which is murder an important person in a surprise attack for political or religious reasons.
right.
They
So
didn't say anything about money or anything about being paid.
right.
You got another 10 backstage, Pepper. It has nothing to do with the exchange of money. It's merely a very important person, right? JFK was as well. MLK, go by initials. Yeah, I mean, we like that. It's not just with money. There's large reasoning behind it, so on and so forth. Walking down the street and getting murdered, is one thing, but having a very significant role that impacts a nation the way Charlie Kirk did, and what he stood for, that they assassinated him because of that role, not because they wanted to like rob him or anything, crazy, or got in a fight or whatever.
Yeah,
So.
it's tough, especially when she's saying that she was hinting that they try to kill his message, and that we're gonna fight, and the message is still gonna continue. This is so inspiring for me, but it breaks my heart too. It's really heavy. I actually try to just suck up my emotions, and it's tough. I don't know. It's a really rough thing to hear right now. I don't know. It's a lot, especially with his kids and his daughter.
And I'll just mention, I was, this isn't about me, of course. Earlier I was in a chat getting threats as well. Just for speaking what I honestly feel was Charlie's politics. And this doesn't. I want to emphasize emphatically that a person isn't a pedophile, a person, or a PDF, sorry, a person does not deserve threats of violence. And in no way does honestly addressing claims Charlie Kirk made during his life somehow overshadow this idea that we had no idea what Charlie was going to do into the future. We didn't know the real Charlie Kirk. We didn't know the totality of Charlie Kirk. We didn't know the totality of Charlie's politics, and we didn't know, even if we did and we got the worst answer, even if we did and there's the worst answer possible was heard, I want to emphasize again that there's still no reason. People have invoked this trope of murdering Hitler. There's no reason in any case that we should ever use threats of violence in society to silence someone's political voice. And I'm also behind that message.
Unless they pay to boot you, Duck. Then you get
Which
silenced.
would be fine. Yeah, it would be good. It would be good, Sarah. No worries.
I tease. But I mean, yeah, realistically speaking, I don't know. Clay, to you.
What's up? Thanks for letting me up.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching it, and it was nice that you were able to share the message from the lovely lady. Yeah, I mean, it's a tragedy. It's absolutely terrible. I mean, I didn't really watch Charlie. I've got a different platform, I guess. It's not that I didn't know his message or anything. I didn't. I don't know what his message was. I know he's right leaning. That's about it. But seeing that, I mean, I got a text, and then that's what it said that had happened, and I didn't check it immediately, you know. And then the person who texted me said, "Hey," he came in like 15 minutes later. "Hey, did you see it?" And I said, "Well, I didn't see it yet. Let me pull it up." And I pulled it up, and I was editing at the time. I was, working, and when I saw it, I had to take a break. I mean, that's just wild, just absolutely
What software do you use, Brick?
crazy.
What editing? Adobe? Cool.
Yeah.
Photoshop or like
Premiere.
a video editor? Cool. I used Clipchamp before.
Yeah, I tried the cheap ones. They just
And
don't work as well.
if the mods could copy this link and continue dropping it, but Tucker Carlson set up a Give Send Go. It's a fundraiser website, and he matched, I believe, the first million, and many others have dropped money as well. The goal is to get 5 million. The whole purpose is that essentially, uh, her husband has passed and his earning potential has just stopped. Not to say that they weren't already set and prepared for this, but at the very least, the father of 2 young children is now not there to take care and provide for his children. So if anybody can,
Sarah, and sorry, I saw Speakeasy too, just to call out a good deed. Speakeasy put out a post. So if you're with him on Discord, maybe message him. Speakeasy, made some money on a stream yesterday, just as one does, and he had mentioned he wants to give that money to Erica if he can, to Mrs. Kirk. And so I just wanted to call out. I thought that was a good deed, and it was a good deed done publicly, which is awesome. So whatever. I'll say that.
Yeah, I did see that post as well. That was really kind of him. That was very good.
Yep. And so I've dropped the link if mods would like to continue copy pasting that. I think it's even if it's just a few dollars, that few dollars, if everybody does a little, one person doesn't have to do a lot. Not only that, maybe this will help push the cause. If you believe in the cause as well, this will help continue to support it. So there you go. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would have liked to add to, so I'm glad that it's being continued. The message that, was being spoken by Charlie and with Turning Point, and, that his wife is behind that. That's very powerful. When those you love stand up for what you yourself have the message for. Everybody has their views, everybody has their opinions. Charlie has his. I'm sure that he and his wife didn't agree on every single thing exactly, but because she loves him and she loved, I'm sure, most of what he stood for, and I'm sure that she's gonna enjoy at least continuing that message. And so for me, like I said, I didn't know really a whole lot about Charlie's message. And after hearing a few of the things because of the clips that people are playing, I'm starting to hear some of the things, and I do agree with some of the things that he says, So I would say, it's definitely worth listening to his message. We all have a view, right? And I did get a chance to watch the panel earlier, and, with some of the bigger names in the debate spaces, yourself and Flo and Fatty, and the folks were on there, and heated conversations. But I know that you guys come away with vigor for your own message, but also willingness to listen to others. And that's one of the things that I did notice about Charlie and his message and Turning Point was, the ability to have that conversation and invite others who you're pretty sure don't agree. And so that back and forth can be had. So I'm really happy that she's behind that. I'm really happy that that message is being continued because, Duck mentioned it. Violence is not the answer. I am not one for violence. I mean, I know I've mentioned it before. I'm not a big fan of force doctrine, but beyond that, I preach peace because peace is the answer to me. It's the end of all matters. It really is.
Yeah,
And
Brick, I'm sure we're gonna see great things out of Turning Point USA in the future. I think
yeah,
everyone agrees.
I'm sure. But I just wanted to put that view out there, and I'm really happy that she speaks out, and I
Mhm.
hope she continues to be part of it.
Yeah, it sounds like she took kind of the same stance as a lot of us in terms of like, yeah, we had to go through the grief portion, right? And I'm sure she's got a lot more to go through, but she's not letting it hold her back. Um, and to come right out the gate doing that, I think that's very noteworthy for somebody who just lost their husband to say like, no, we're going to keep fighting and doing because this is what my husband would have wanted, right? And this is what he would have done.
And
Uh,
Sarah, the thing
mhm.
is Charlie is an organizer and a builder as well. And he'll always be remembered as someone who was good at organizing, building, and connecting. And so I would hope that the health of Turning Point USA is secondary only for the fact that there's going to be millions of people that want to make sure that that organization succeeds and thrives. And I would hope that uh, people that might oppose the mission, it is an independent organization, but I would hope people recognize that Republicans and Democrats can both want a healthy Turning Point USA. It's not about politics. Again, it's Charlie's legacy as a builder and organizer, all these things.
That's fair.
Yeah, and from what I understand, he was a believer in God. Really, ultimately, if that's the case, especially if he's a Christian, that would mean that the kingdom of God is his kingdom, right? That's where he feels he or felt that he would have belonged. So ultimately, even this great experiment that we have, America, it's great that we have this experiment that, if under my opinion, God has allowed us to do this thing, but ultimately it is God's kingdom that from what I understand, if he's a God believer, he has preached.
He is a Christian. He's a Protestant Christian.
Yeah. So
Hello, Sarah.
a good Christian brother.
Hi, Brick. We got Bricky and we got Brick. We could build a whole house now.
Yeah.
Well, all in all, it's just another brick in the wall, isn't it?
All in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
Hey, Brick! Leave our kids alone.
What's good?
Now, be careful, Bricky. Did you just watch?
Hey, Sarah, I did tell you.
listen?
I did tell you.
Hold on, listen. Pay attention. This is important. Have you been watching for the last 30 minutes?
No, I haven't, love. I've been doing a show with me and Chris. We've done our own show, love. And as soon as I've ended, this is the first place I've came to. So my apologies. I haven't. You have to update us.
Okay, so for the record, we just got done watching Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's now widow, in her first address outward to speak on her husband's passing. So the mood is not to deal with drunk Bricky right now.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Okay, keep that in mind.
No, that's totally appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do that. Like that. That's why we didn't. Me and Chris had a certain stream set up tonight, right? And we changed it because of the actual reason and kind of like that. The man deserves a lot more respect than what's been given. So no, I won't be that prick in that tit. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Did you have some thoughts on the matter?
Only that he's been turned into a martyr and his legacy will live on for longer than it was actually gonna in the part. Like that man is what, was 31, Sarah? Am I right in believing 31?
You are correct.
And he was 19 when he started. He founded Turning Point UK. Now, we look at what he's achieved through his lifetime. I like when the wife told me this, Sarah, right? Okay, this was shot because I don't watch YouTube all the time. I don't, but she was watching TikTok because she's a TikTok flicker. And she said this to us, and I went, "No, that's not true. Where's your sources from?" Because as soon as it comes from TikTok, like, use people to know that it could be just like, you know, like Trump was like apparently dead, you know, he wasn't alive. Okay, but then I saw, honestly, I couldn't sleep that night. You know, I couldn't fucking sleep. It actually affected us, and I didn't actually think it would, but here we are now dealing with it. And for me, it's one of them ones. I think we're going to go bigger and stronger because of it. But I wish it never happened.
Yeah. Duck, you wanted to exit?
Yeah, so, and sorry, Bricky and Brick, I know you guys just got up here. And sorry, Sarah, thanks for having me up. If I had just had 30 seconds to eulogize Charlie, I would say the reason that Charlie is larger than life is because he understood that words mattered, and he did a lot with that. And our actions matter as well. Words and actions both are consequential. I would, just given the climate and everything, I would implore people to consider that the 22-year-old who will be going on trial for Charlie's murder will also, I'm sure, will recognize and appreciate that words and actions do have consequences as well. And so that's within the hands of the justice system. And I do think the most important thing that we can focus on right now as a community, as a community online, as well as a country, as a global community who wants to let people know who we are, is again rallying behind the Kirk family, making sure Charlie's legacy, his children, are taken care of, making sure that Erica has the support she needs for her many responsibilities, and ensuring that the void and the gap left by Charlie is, over time, it's one of those things that, people are going to step up to address, and they're going to take care of it then. And so, yeah, I just want to be incredibly gracious to Mr. Kirk, and, thank Erica for sharing him with us while he was here. And I want to be incredibly gracious towards Turning Point, and, again, the legacy and the political organization that he leaves behind. And that's it.
God
Duck,
bless you.
I
God
think
bless
this is a rare Duck win for once. Thank you, Duck. Those are such kind words.
You're very welcome, Sarah. Take care. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Duck. Have a
God
good
bless
night.
you, Doc.
Bye.
And Marte, you'd like to go as well?
Yeah, this is a bit heavy for me. I don't know. It was maybe, I don't know if it was a pepper thing in the beginning, but it's kind of hitting hard right now. Just real quick, I'll wrap this up. Charlie's inspired me also, as well as Andrew Wilson. But this also makes me think of like people like me who are going to be doing IRL debates. This isn't about me, but this is about debates moving forward in the future, who plan on carrying on a message of Christianity, maybe virtue, in a better society. This does inspire me, but it's also with a heavy heart that I talk about this. It's really tough to even talk about. His wife, like Duck was saying, I thank their family for sharing him with us while he was here. I appreciate media outlets for sharing him and his presence here when he was here. He was a fighter. This guy was a gladiator. He didn't take shit. He wasn't a fascist, because fascists silence the critics. He didn't silence his critics. He implored discourse with everybody. And I plan on following suit. I hope that everybody else that plans on doing IRL debates doesn't stop fighting in the trenches and does this as well too.
Big up, Mart, yes.
It was good to see you up here, Marte. You really do have a good fight in you, bro, and I love that. You keep it up.
Yeah, you've a good
you.
debate, Mart. Yes, you genuinely are, friend. And yeah, you're a funny fucker as well. You are, but in this moment in time, we need serious people. We need people to step up and take over, and step into the place where Charlie was and whatnot. We've got a lot of people willing to do that, but when people do it, we'll we'll find out if that, you know, I'm trying to be serious, Sarah. You know, it's very hard for me to do that, love. It is, but I really do appreciate all this, like everyone corroding around Charlie and whatnot. This is what needs to happen, and we do not need to encourage violence at all. You know, violence is not the answer, right? It is not, right? It may be from one side, but for me, just freedom of speech. You know, that's what we need. Who's a new fella on the panel? We've got a new fella.
Pepper. Pepper had to get a little time out. I actually think I'm kind of burnt out too. I wanted to continue on, but that video just kind of really like took the last little bits of my
Sarah does love
everything.
I totally understand too.
It sucks when your hero dies. That's for sure. So anyone who was, you know, being influenced by this guy and they were, you know, he was showing them inspiration on kind of fighting for the West. You know, from what I saw, the guy, he did care about the West. I don't really agree with all of his approaches on fighting other Westerners in a divide, but
this is what pisses me off here, Sarah. This is what pisses me off here. It's the button whataboutism that's going to come from him now.
Oh no. I just mean so for me he wasn't
so did he,
like, he did care about the West. I do believe that he cared about the West.
Did he deserve to meet the fate?
Totally respect him. I just don't agree with exactly his full approach.
So you don't agree with freedom of speech?
But I do think that in his heart he believed in the West, right? So like, if something is going to be counterproductive, like I want to fight for the West too.
So what's your first? What's your First Amendment? Is what I'm saying. What's your First Amendment as American?
I'm not American.
What are you then? Canadian.
Bingo.
He is.
We don't have amendments.
You have a charter, right?
Yeah, we have a charter of rights and freedoms.
Right. Okay. So, do you believe in freedom of speech?
I do. Yeah.
Right. So then, what was Charlie saying? That wasn't like. Is it just because of the fact that?
Well, so I think that one of the paths to fighting for the West is making sure that no one falls behind.
What did Charlie say that he disagreed with?
Well, he was talking about fighting. Okay, so people getting schooling being a bad thing for a lot of people, and while I do agree with a lot of it, I just think that you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater in a few things. I don't disagree with the guy. I think that he had a good point. I don't think he was exactly, perfect in his politics, but I do think that he cared for the West, and
so do you agree? Do you agree that he should have met his fate? What would you agree that what happened to him was justified?
I would never. It's pretty sad, right? It's pretty sad.
It is. So then, why would you need to use this whataboutism? Okay.
Oh no, I just I'm. I like to talk about politics. I'm not like I said, I'm a hard empath. When I do it, so yeah, I do it sparingly, and I try and keep to philosophical and logical topics instead of getting into
philosophical and logical.
You have said repeatedly that you're a hard empath, and honestly, from what I'm seeing, I don't see any capability of empathy from your actions.
So,
I mean, because you say hard empath doesn't mean
emotions, right? But that doesn't mean that I would want to feel everyone's emotions at all times. So a lot of times, the harder they can do something, the less sparingly they might do, because it takes up more.
So am I right in assuming that the word hard empath means that you cannot avoid, or it's almost impossible for you to avoid empathy?
When I do it, I can feel it very, very deeply. Therefore, it's maybe in my best interest to not do it in media topics, right? Like, are you going to be sad every single day because someone loses a husband every single day?
There's
That's
Well, it
nothing.
sounds
Hold
more
on,
like
stop,
selective
stop, stop, stop,
empathy
stop, stop,
than
stop, stop,
okay.
stop, stop. There's nothing wrong with not having empathy in the moment.
Well,
Okay.
I choose who I want to.
There's nothing wrong with that, as do I. Even I put my empathy card away, especially with what you're saying for media and stuff. Even I put my empathy card away. But there is just a simple matter of respect in reading the room, right? If there's other people in the room that are trying to be respectful and just give 15 fucking minutes to listen to a video of someone talking about their husband who just passed, just basic fucking
Yeah.
respect out of that, right? And even with the whole situation, just out of respect for the fact that there are people that are hit by it and there are people that are hurt by it, and just simply out of respect of what you're saying and how you're saying it.
Right, and I believe
Yeah, make
that
people mad.
a common empathy should be able to, especially in this situation, right after a young lady had given a speech about her husband who had just passed. I think that even the basic average level of empathy would let you know that it's probably not good to just come in joking about whatever and maybe talk about the subject at hand.
I can do a lot of apathy too. I have that ability. And that's
that doesn't describe hard empathy.
Stop. It's, you don't have to have empathy.
No,
you don't have to have any. It's just basic fucking social cues in reading the room. That's all. Neve, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that. I refuse to believe that somebody so empathetic could come onto a panel without reading the title, reading this.
I don't think what I
reading
did
the
was that
YouTube
bad.
thing.
You guys are trying to crucify me for
No,
me
listen to my
not
point. Stop
giving a
interrupting me,
fuck.
retard. Stop interrupting me, retard. Listen to what I'm saying.
Oh,
I'm
we call
saying
me
if
a
you were
retard ad
empathetic,
hominem.
because
Fuck
you
off.
literally are. We're not debating. You're listening and you're smoking. You're making yourself look dumb.
No,
Listen to
I'm
what
not.
saying.
You can fuck
If
off.
you were
Stop looking
empathetic,
at me.
if you were empathetic, you would have read the room and the tone of the discussion that you were entering before you came on and made it about yourself.
Well,
You're not
actually,
empathetic.
I wasn't sure how empathetic everyone was to this. I wasn't
Okay, why
sure
would
if
that
you could
matter?
comment or not.
Why would that matter if you had a principled stance
When I
around
said
compassion?
amen, there's a lot of people that say amen in the middle of something. It's actually a blessing.
Okay. Great. I can
everyone
accept
is
that.
you. So just because you don't do something doesn't mean that
Can you
allowed
accept?
to do it. If I want to say amen, when I hear something that I want to come into fruition, I'm going to say amen.
Literally no one cares, dude. Literally no one cares. Can you accept that you hit the link again after being paid off for 20 minutes? You literally hit the link after being paid off for 20 minutes because you're a narcissist, because you like the attention.
No, I
and
just
despite
don't
knowing
care
that you have
about-
no...
I
Okay,
just
you
don't
don't care.
about
You don't
being
care
sad.
about the panel. You don't care about the panel
No,
that
I
you're
care
spending
about
your free
Charlie
time
Kirk
on.
and,
Do you understand how dumb you sound?
For the record, this is Canadian on Canadian violence, and I'm
Yeah, because he's
laughing
actually
inside.
fucking.
force me.
This guy literally has a
think what
disability
you
or
want,
something. He's
okay?
dumb.
If I interpret something under a different lens than you, because I just don't want to be steered by media.
Okay, so is your expectation that you hit a panel link and then everyone is just so
Yo, people die every day. Are you sad
can you just
every
like
day?
stop talking while I'm talking?
You're
Is
not
that possible?
Hold on.
Is it possible for you to just like
let me
listen to what I'm saying? or
remove
no?
the idea.
I'm just not a pussy. You can fuck
Hold
off.
on, Pepper. Shut up for a second. Listen, we were playing a video. Everyone was quiet. You interrupted and said something from the very get-go. Nobody responded to you. We all sat silently and still continued listening. The chat started saying, shut up. And then again, you said it again. And then I said, shh.
People
quiet.
are pretty sad, right?
And then it's not even sad.
I'm not.
We wanted to hear the fucking video.
Specifically, what you were bringing up was Marte's Yank videos, and that's really inappropriate.
That was last night. I thought that he should
up.
have talked more. They didn't let him talk.
Sir, if I may, I'd like to address.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up again.
Go ahead, Brick.
Okay.
You
me. I was trying to get in. So, Pepper, I just want to explain something to you. Okay. There's the idea that you would you would apologize for something you haven't even done.
Oh, I did apologize.
Hold on. Don't interrupt, because like I'm like 40 years old, okay? And I've learned in my life some things, okay? And you remind me of one of my nephews. You remind me of one of my nephews, actually.
Do you have a picture of him?
And I love. No, actually,
I don't like to be. I don't like to be put in a box.
Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. This is what I'm talking about.
Okay, so what does your cousin do that I do?
It's a nephew. Pepper.
Fill it out for me, Claire. What do I do that your cousin
calm
does?
down. It's a nephew. I'm 40 years old. You remind me of my 15-year-old nephew. I don't know how old you are, but you remind me of him.
Sick burn, bro.
Hey,
Sick
Brick,
burn.
Brick, what's your fucking point? Why did you bring that up?
Hold on. If you really just stop
like
and listen. Yes, you do.
Okay,
so,
explain how. Because
I can't do that if you're not listening. God gave you 2 ears.
Yo, they
one
threw
mouth
babies out
so that you could listen
times. They
more
do
than
all
you
this
talk.
shit to
But
get
you're
your
not.
heartstrings going.
You don't know how to listen. You don't know how to listen. You have to listen in order to take in information, and then from that point you can make judgment calls. And you're not doing it right now. You're not listening at all. Okay.
Rick, I think Neve was the better representative than you. Right?
Hold on. Stop. I can't have this conversation with Pepper.
You're trying to shame me.
Also, other people. No, I'm not trying to shame you. I'm trying to have a conversation with you.
That's exactly what
as an adult. Adult to
get to
adult.
your fucking point.
Can we have a conversation man to man?
You need to get to your point instead of saying, "Can I get to my point?"
Calm down.
You calm down.
Calm down, dude.
You calm down.
How old are you? How old are you?
Get to your fucking point, dude.
How old are you? How old are you? Can you answer?
You have a point. How am I compared to your 15-year-old nephew?
If you didn't hey, Pepper, if you didn't eat breakfast today, how would you feel?
How
would you feel?
Do I remind you?
This guy is stupid, Sarah. I can't do it. I can't.
If I eat breakfast,
yeah.
What if I didn't eat breakfast?
Yeah. How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast today?
Depends what I ate last night. What's your point?
You can't engage, bro. This is what I'm talking
about. You asked me a
question.
Listen. How would I feel if I didn't eat breakfast? It depends how I ate what I ate last night.
Okay. Like, and if how would you feel right now?
Huge fucking meal and drank a bunch of beer and didn't have breakfast, I probably wouldn't feel that hungry.
But if that's great.
What are you getting at?
But if Pepper, you have to listen. And if you listen, then I will ask you a question, right?
Listening.
If I ask you a question and if you're willing to engage,
are you going to ask me the question?
This is the difference between stupid
ask
people
the fucking question instead of being like, hey, you need ask a question.
If you didn't eat breakfast today, how would you feel?
If I didn't eat breakfast today, I would feel just how I felt today because I didn't eat breakfast.
So you can't engage.
What are you asking?
It's a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical. If you didn't eat today at all.
Oh, if I didn't eat at all.
Yeah, if you didn't eat breakfast, if you didn't eat lunch, if you didn't eat dinner.
I did eat lunch. Okay, so if you didn't eat for how many meals, how would you feel? You'd feel hungry.
If you did not.
You'd feel hungry.
Yeah, you would feel hungry. So here's the thing. You can engage.
Okay.
You have the ability to engage with a hypothetical, right? That means you have the ability to
listen. I was engaging. You said if you didn't eat breakfast.
You have the ability. You did hear what I said? So you did hear what I said.
I responded to what you said.
Okay, finally, after, I don't know, 10
minutes?
minutes?
No, not finally. The first fucking time.
No, you didn't. You really didn't. The answer was I would be hungry.
I did. If I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't even understand what you were getting at.
You're so dumb.
If you didn't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
No, shut the fuck up. You're dumb. If you didn't eat breakfast, that's your hypothetical.
How much time do you need?
I might feel hungry. I might not. Depends on what I ate last night. Are you talking about?
I don't think Sarah has it.
Or are you talking about in general? What the fuck's your point?
What he's trying to do is to see if you can engage with the hypothetical.
I could engage. He's fucking retarded.
Active listening. The point is that
if you don't eat long enough, you get hungry.
Are you
gonna finish your fucking point?
For fuck's sake, that's what he's saying. He just wants you to say, "I'd be hungry." How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning? Instead,
let's fucking go. What's your point?
Instead, you're going off on all these other tangents. Well,
I'm not even, dude. I'm not even. No, I'm asking him what the fuck he means.
With the fucking question. Back to you.
You guys are insane.
Yeah. So the idea here is to see if you're going to engage. But what happens is people who don't want to engage become defensive and they go off on all these tangents because they feel some kind of a way about what we're talking about. And it's okay that you might feel some kind of a way about what I'm saying. No, it's not a straw man, dude. No.
It is a straw man.
I'm actually analyzing the person that I'm talking to. That's actually what I'm doing.
No, you're not understanding that. And you're avoiding even interacting with me by saying that I can't interact.
Bro. This is actually sociology.
No, you're saying you're trying to paint this picture that I can't interact. Interact. You're saying you can't interact.
Now ask me a question.
Ask you a question about what?
Anything.
Just a random question.
Whatever you want to talk about.
What do you stream about?
What do I stream about? Cops.
Yeah. What's your deal?
Cops.
Gods in general. Like,
cops.
Oh, cops.
Yeah, I film cops. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready for my engagement now? Okay. So there's something that happens, right? That is in the world, right? That we live in, where we engage with each other, and sometimes things happen that are absolutely terrible. Would you agree that sometimes it's good to apologize for things that we didn't even do?
To apologize? Fuck no.
So then this is the thing. So what that is that you have, I forget this.
I have what? Because I say fuck you. Fuck you.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out,
dude.
Don't freak out. I didn't even say anything.
You.
So you're just gonna say fuck you.
All this
so
chat.
Here's the thing: you cannot engage. All you're gonna do is spurg out.
After I
have a
respond
difficulty in life. You have a difficulty in life. You have a difficulty in life with actually getting along with people. I don't have shit
difficulty.
You're having a problem with it right now.
Why are you saying that? Go fuck yourself.
It's difficult for you to get along with people, is it not?
To get along with people, you're the one that's now fucking.
Is it difficult for you to get along with people?
You're infantilizing me right now, trying to paint this picture.
Why are you so defensive?
And I'll respond. Okay, if you're gonna fucking do this psychoanalytical bullshit, and
why are you so defensive?
I am not with it.
Why are you so defensive? Why are you so defensive?
Why are you so?
Stop.
Passive aggressive.
It's my turn.
I don't know. Why are you so passive aggressive? Like
look,
you're like a fucking woman.
You did your little question. No,
you're like a fucking woman, dude.
Why are you so defensive?
Why are you so passive aggressive?
Why are you so defensive? It's not pressed.
Why are you attacking right now? Why are you?
It's not attacking. Wait, hold on. You really believe that words are attacks?
That's not a fucking good thing.
You really believe that words are an attack?
Listen, you're trying to paint
this
picture to the audience. Don't buy into this guy's psychoanalytical bullshit.
I can't attack you with words.
Call it out for what it is. When people are like this,
what are you talking about?
Little fucking. Oh, I'm gonna infantilize you. You can't engage with people,
dude. I'll tell you what. Why don't you just start spurging on someone else?
You have to
on other people.
Just
bro.
engage.
It's not gonna work with me. You're defensive.
Wow.
And I don't know who hurt you.
I'll comment on the topic. You're accusing me of being defensive.
Who hurt you?
I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I'm happy we're done watching those retards slap their dicks together.
I'm sorry, Pepper. I'm sorry somebody hurt you, Pepper.
Something Weevil, I think you wanted to ask a question.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, yeah,
was that it? Was that it?
I'm the one.
Something Weevil.
Hold on.
I think you wanted to ask something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will. First off, I want to say is I'm the one who booted you because you were rude during the video. You say you don't know the man, you don't know the politics, you don't know everything that's going on. Hold on, let me say it before you get defensive on me.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna.
I just want to say before you jump on a panel, maybe read the title and look up the names of the people. Do your research before you jump in.
Who Charlie Kirk is.
No.
Put him again.
Okay, then why are you saying you didn't know who he was? You said you didn't know who he was like 5-10 minutes ago.
I know who Charlie Kirk is.
Okay, anyways, do the research before you jump in and start laughing at a moment of silence.
Some people might know him because he got big in the last couple of years.
What? Let go penis never done in the last.
But I haven't paid attention since, like, honestly, 2017, because he was big back then too.
Well,
He was
looks like you
getting
got
hit.
some
So that's
reading to
what I've
do.
seen of him.
Looks like you got some
Well,
content
that's
to
what I'm
catch up
saying.
with.
Do
Once you're
your
done doing
research.
that, hit the
Do
I
link.
your
did
research
try to
of
do
like
it last night.
current
It was
events
super hard to
what's going
find
Get
on.
fucked.
If you're not in America, jump on America's current events if you want to get on a panel that we're talking about American current events. Do your research before you jump on and get mad at everybody else.
Werbs over on the Rumble side said, Sarah, tell Pepper to fuck off for me. He needs to think about what he said. I
Fuck
concur.
off, Pepper.
Yeah. Fuck off,
Well,
Pepper.
no, on
I
that
got a
matter,
wrong
I've
opinion.
said
Alright.
Fuck
some.
off, Pepper.
Sorry.
Let's do this. There was a few boots.
But that's
so
what
I'm
I had
gonna-
to say. So thank you,
I'm
Sarah.
gonna send you backstage for a little bit, Pepper. My brain can't handle all this. Jose, I believe you wanted to bring it back around to the actual thing we were fucking talking about. Go ahead, Jose.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Well, first of all, hello panel, hello everybody. Sarah, thank you so much.
You know,
God bless everybody. Hopefully, everyone is having either a great night, great afternoon. I don't know the time zones really well there. You know, it goes to show you. I'm glad I actually came on the time that I did because you know, Mr. Pink or Red Hair Spurg was very interesting. It's actually, you know, I wanted to just pay respects to the Kirk family. It was just something, you know, I saw the live stream and I said, look, I'm at work today. I'm on my meal right now. I work in the courthouse. I just want to pay my respects to the Kirk family and also to address the fact that, you know, people like Mr. Pink Red Hair guy, that's the issue. That's where the issues are coming from. You know, imagine him times 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. That's what we're facing in the country. God bless the Kirk family. Erica, God bless you. What she did, it's just imagine what she's going. There's no way to even imagine what she's going through. There's no level of there's empathy, of course, but there's no level of understanding where her and her own children are going through. God bless them for the future. God bless them economically, spiritually, financially. I'd still have faith in mankind because this event, this assassination of Mr. Kirk, shouldn't define how we treat other people. It should, in fact, give a light to the issues that are going on in the country. Mr. Pink Red Hair guy is a prime example of that. Imagine him times 10,000 or 50,000, even 100,000. That's what's going on in the country right now. It's definitely ideological warfare going on, a spiritual battle, in fact.
Yeah, there's no violence coming from the right, though, Jose.
I'm sorry?
There's no violence, political violence coming from the right like there is on the left. You name one. I get what you're saying. Where do we see the same reaction coming from the right towards the left?
And that's what I agree upon most. Again, I said a minute and a half. I don't want to take anybody else's time.
You're fine. You take your time, Jose.
No, I know. I got to get back to break. My break ends in almost like 5 minutes. By the way, New York City courts, they're open 7 days a week. So, you know, that 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. So my ass got to get back soon. But all I'm saying is that this is where the issue is systematically. There's a systematic issue going on in the country. God bless the Kirk family again. Charlie Kirk, he understood fundamentally what was going on in the country. Yeah, his rhetoric may have seemed very harsh, but guess what? The country needs harsh words. They need harsh words to move forward. You can't move forward past the wall. The wall is the fact that we have to give people leeway to say what they want. Mr. Pink Red Hair guy is a great example of that. You want to let guys like that have free speech? I believe in free speech, but there has to be a hard line drawn when it comes to that. Everybody.
What if Zora Mondani wins, mate? You haven't got free speech.
I'm sorry, Bricky.
If Zora Mondani wins, you haven't got free speech in New York, have you? You've got a socialist community.
Oh, bro. Don't get me started on that.
God bless you. You sound like a genuine, right-minded person. But like, this world is fucked up. I'm from Britain, my friend. I realize how fucked up the world is. I've got no place to judge. But again, like, I see New York going down a path which is very much like what Britain's going down. So yeah, I hope that it doesn't go that way for you, my friend.
No, I personally can picture 300 million or so, the whole United States of people exactly like Pepper, and on both sides, as far as on both the Republican and the Democratic side, and that is a complete lack of empathy. Now, I've made several posts over the last few days talking about this subject, and they were specifically designed to kind of tug at the heartstrings of people who supported him. And it wasn't celebrating at all. Now, there are posts that I've seen, such as the one where he's leaning to the left and it says he finally went left. That's a disgusting, horrible post. And I've seen similar posts on the right side, and it's always explained as, oh, it was just a joke. And what I think today has shown, and every time I've mentioned this subject, as I will right now, I've always thought about his wife. I've always thought about his family. He's a new dad, things like that. And all he was doing was speaking. And your speech should not be silenced in this way. This is horrible. Your speech should not be silenced at all.
Well, that's your First Amendment in America, isn't it?
Now, I've made sure to always mention that when I'm talking on this subject, but my purpose in the kind of inflammatory post that I have made was to show that everybody does, in a way, want empathy, because when somebody speaks out without empathy, such as Pepper, they're treated as outcasts. Well, if the entire nation is full of Peppers, how is anybody going to ever get along? How are we ever going to move anything forward?
And that's where we got to find the common ground, ladies and gentlemen. I really believe that in my heart, somehow, some way, we do have to find a common ground to unite on. And again, just to leave off, God bless the Kirk family. I really, they're in my prayers every day. You know,
amen. And the guy saying Valhalla was just totally freaking out of that was bad taste. That was bad taste for a Christian man. That was not cool at all. Because that's a pagan belief, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like.
Can I just say goodbye to everybody, love, before I leave, because I don't want to encroach on your channel anymore, love. I said I would behave. I've been a good lad, haven't I, Sarah? Been good.
Mm-hmm.
I have. You know, I could have been nasty. I could have been a twat, but I wasn't going to do that, right? Now, God bless us all, okay? Let's face it, right? Okay, we've got one cause in this world, right? Okay? And that's to reproduce and keep going on. Now, until we realize that we're fighting against each other and the war against each other is never going to end well, right? Then you all have to realize you're all going to lose against Bricky, because Bricky will fuck you all up, okay? See you all later. God bless us, right? And you know, just stay safe.
Bye, Bricky. Pan, you had something to add in here?
Yes, and thanks for having me up. This is Pan Mulattoism, and I'll get right to it. Now, we criticize the blacks for engaging in black-on-black violence. Rightfully so, might I add. But we also must criticize the whites for engaging in white-on-white violence. In fact, Charlie Kirk was literally criticizing the blacks for their, quote, gang violence when Charlie Kirk himself was assassinated by a white. So my question is, and this is directed to the whites on the panel, do you have any ideas or any tactics that we as a society can implement to mitigate this white on white violence issue? Because we have to acknowledge that the whites, many of the whites, because of their white on white violence, they are making public spaces unsafe, such as schools, such as concerts, etc. So I would like to hear from the whites. What are some tactics that we can implement to mitigate this white on white violence issue societally?
All right, so let me just jump
Me
right on
personally,
in
I don't
here.
think it's about skin color. It's just it's about the fact that
when
we're
this
all
whole
here.
like
I think she has a delay.
really
Something, Weevil. Hold on.
Do I have a
Weevil,
delay?
I'm going to count down from 10. You're going to finish the numbers on my rhythm. 10, 9, 8.
7, 6,
Okay.
5, 4.
You have a delay.
That's a delay.
Yeah, hop
Okay,
out.
that
Try
makes
to,
sense.
All right, hold
yeah, it's
on.
a big delay. Hop out and then come
Okay.
back.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take us down memory lane to when this whole black on black crime rate thing first made its appearance during the Trump campaign in 2015, and it came through the lens of Rudy Giuliani, who brought this statistic all to our memory, and he brought on black crime, and I said to myself, "Oh, sir, you are Italian. We don't speak of Italian on Italian crime. I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you bringing this up?" And then I had to correct myself because my friends had introduced me to a website called liveleak.com. Now, let me explain the difference. When it comes to things like the difference in behaviors between the Italians and the blacks on the question of crime, if I'm out doing family business and I pulled out my phone with my cousin doing family business, or if my cousin pulled out his phone, I'm working a double shift. I have to double my hours for that kind of action
Respectfully,
because
did you
we
forget
don't
the
shift.
question? Did you forget the question? Respectfully.
I did not forget the question, and the answer to make the long thing short. Mind your own fucking business. White people can
Yeah,
handle
but
this shit.
this is my business because you.
We built our
Well,
legal system.
let me
We built the
respond.
legal system. We built
Respond.
the culture.
Can I tell you why
Mind
it
your
is
own
my
business.
business? Because you engage
No,
in white
you
on white
can't.
violence in public
No, you
places.
cannot. No, you can't tell me.
You engage
You
in white on
cannot
white.
tell me why
Don't
it's your
get
business.
triggered. You're acting like the blacks right now. You're
It's not
emotional.
your business.
You're acting like the blacks right now. You're
Emotional.
emotional. You're chimping out. The point is,
What or
whites,
what or what
whites.
or fucking what?
Are you hold on?
What
Are
are you
you
gonna do
PMSing?
about it?
Are you PMSing?
No, I'm being a man. I'm
Okay, so
telling
let's
you,
have
mind
the
your own fucking
dialogue.
business.
Let's have the dialogue. Let's have the dialogue.
Dialogue
The
is good.
dialogue is what?
Whites. Okay, so whites engage in white on white violence in public spaces where whites are not the only people present. So this is my business. So the question is,
So
just like we see, calm your tits for a second, please.
what's your
So
point?
just like we see that there have been policies to mitigate the black versus black crime epidemic, we also must
What
implement
policies?
policies.
We just had a girl
Well,
get
Yeah, what
stabbed in the neck
policies
in
are
fucking
there?
subway.
let me give you an
Doesn't
example.
know.
We just had Daniel
But
Penny who had
let
the
me let
fucking
me
like
answer that. Let me answer that. You asked the question. Can I
the
answer
issue's
it?
being solved.
Do you have it? Do you
No,
have
you're
any
making an
decorum?
assertion and I'm challenging it.
And
I'm telling you you're
Raging
full of
I think it
shit.
Tomato.
was a school shooting, and that's how it's
Yeah, yeah. Let me
categorized.
answer that.
That's
And
just
Raging
me.
Tomato. Raging Tomato. You have to put your bitches on the leash so I can at least answer their questions.
No, go ahead.
Now we see one tactic that.
No, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. Pan, come back another time. You're not going to sit here and like completely disrespect my panelists. Like we have some degree of couth, right? You came out of left field with some random ass like white on white crime. Why do we care? I don't even fucking know where it's coming from. Like, look at the fucking we're not even. I
It
can't.
has nothing to do with race.
I don't even know what the fuck he was talking about, and quite frankly, I don't care. And then to sit here and tell me I need to put my bitches on a leash, like I love all of my panelists who come here. I love all of you. And Pepper, you're taking a verbal lashing, but it was well earned. But I
Yeah.
still appreciate all of my panelists who come here. And for you to tell me to put my bitches on a leash, the fuck I ain't. Number one, don't tell me what to do on my own fucking show. Number two, don't appeal to the moderator because you're a fucking cunt. All right. Like you're over here crying because Shade Master's trying to answer your question. You don't like the way he's fucking answering it. Fuck off. Deal with it. But you're not gonna cut like Shade Master's done his time. I don't even know who the fuck this pan guy is. Like you randomly show up on a panel, you act like you're some hot shit. When I say backstage, like, hey, cam up backstage. Oh, I'm not a troll. I have a real question. Like, okay, cam the fuck up.
In all
right?
caps.
In all caps, right? Cam the fuck up. I don't care. And then you're going to come on asking some random ass fucking question to my panelists and expecting them to be like, oh, yeah, let's just switch gears here. Like, let's just switch gears and let's talk about this white on white crime that nobody's fucking talking about right now. I don't even fucking know. I don't even fucking know. I don't know, and I don't care. My patience is very limited right now. Pepper has already taken all of my patience for the evening.
I'm sorry.
Nothing
What can I
against
do
you.
to give it back? Do you want me to make a fool of myself?
Nothing against you, Pepper.
I'll,
It's
I'll
just
tell you what, Pepper,
I think we're all kind of
Do I
fine
need
right
to trip and fall down and hurt myself?
I will
Stub
apologize
my toe?
for it. So
At least
I
it's not
will-
dry
I will take-
eyes tonight.
People typically blame me or Duck, usually Duck. So I'll take the blame for it, Pepper, today for you.
That's fair. Thumping
It's all
Weevil,
good.
all is well. It's sometimes we have delays. We just kind of try to work through them sometimes, but it can be interruptive to the panel when you start talking and somebody else is talking and you don't know it, but they don't realize it either, and it just makes a big mess. But no, nothing on you. I'm sure. I know the rain sucks balls. I don't
Can I
know.
respond to
What
the
was
empathy
that guy?
claim?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so to say that I'm not empathetic just because I'm not wanting to engage in tragedy is a little bit unfair. I'll give you an example. So first time I saw Thumping Weevil, I felt super empathetic with her because of what she was talking about. I felt like we were going through a similar situation. She seemed like she was small town. She mentioned she was from Ireland. Both things that I see in myself. So I had a real strong sense of empathy. Like, ooh, I haven't heard of her before. I wonder if she'll do anything. So basically, trying to feel what that person's feeling when I don't know. I feel empathetic. Just I'm not that big on tragedy.
Well, I'm kind of the same way, actually, Pepper, and that's kind of why I wanted to engage with you about it. So I actually am exactly the same way. It's just that I'm probably a little bit older, so it's made me a little bit more patient, and it's okay. There's no big deal about that. But there are some people who do feel strongly about it, and I feel like for them to be able to say their piece is more important than me to be able to continue with my whatever conversation that I might have. Does that make sense?
Now, one thing that makes me that removes empathy from me in this topic, as far as the Charlie Kirk, is that so far on this open panel, we've barely even touched the Irina Zerkovsky or whatever her name is, the lady that was, I guess, stabbed on the train. And I think originally that was in the title to show the difference between stabbings and shootings.
That was over on Fatty's panel. That's the title comes from Fatty's panel. Now, when I left Fatty's panel, I brought up Erica Kirks' speech to watch that and engage accordingly.
Right. I'm not accusing you of anything as far as title. I understand it was Fatty's title. But what I've noticed is there's there's some outrage, there's some talk online about her incident, and but there's mostly engagement about this Charlie Kirk all the way up to the presidential level. They're talking about giving the man the Medal of Freedom, which to me, I think diminishes the Medal of Freedom to basically nothing, as a trinket to give to one of your friends for passing. And I've noticed that there's no real empathy being given for somebody that's not necessarily side tied, as far as not Democrat, not Republican, not conservative, not liberal. There's not $1 million been raised for that person, but there's been $1 million already been initially put into a fundraiser for the wife of somebody who's already stinking rich, to be honest. And he talked about the Church of Power. I hear a lot about this Church of Power that he spoke of. The Church of Power, such as greed and money. And I had a discussion with a guy the other day about how bad Trump has been doing. He's done a couple of good things, but how bad he's been doing overall. And the person pointed to me the stock market. That is the Church of Power. And that's what I keep hearing from, is the Church of Power. Now, another issue that comes up is in this topic is gun legislation. And of course, it's going to come up. And I am a gun owner. I support the Second Amendment. I actually like shooting an AR-15, great weapon. But I don't see how that is going to stop this incident at all, this type of incident, because there's so many guns across the United States. Let's say we get rid of all the guns, or let's say we make guns illegal. What we will be doing is forming a black market. And we would actually probably even make gun cartels that are trading in guns so that people like Clay can have a, sorry to pick on you, Clay, but people like Clay could have a gun and have their rights, you know, I don't think that needs to be done, but I do believe in gun control, as far as I believe the same as like speeding laws in the United States. Now, Charlie Kirk referenced how many tragic deaths occur each year, and how and many people have pointed it out that the gun deaths is a prudent, rational thing to keep our Second Amendment. And I believe that the traffic is actually not, it's disanalogous in the way it was used, but I believe it's very analogous, and we control traffic in our city streets, in our neighborhoods, down to like 30 miles per hour, school zones 15 miles per hour. Well, how fast does a car go? Car goes however fast you want. And the reason why we reduce, 180, 200, some of these cars are 300 mile per hour cars. The reason why we regulate the traffic speeds in cities to 30 miles per hour is to reduce deaths. It's just common sense that regulating something like, let's say, capacities, which isn't going to stop this, but it would stop other type situations such as mall shootings and things like that. I think regulation isn't a bad idea to talk about, but removing guns entirely is a horrible idea to talk about.
Well, are there guns allowed on campuses?
I don't believe guns are allowed on campus, but then again, that goes into your right. If you have concealed,
that would be called a limited public forum. So the courts work the same way. The city halls, all your government buildings, they're going to be called limited public forums. Whereas the traditional public forums, where you walking down the sidewalk, most open carry states are just.
So you guys have it real different from us in Canada, right? Like, we're not allowed to do anything.
Oh yeah.
It's strictly to the gun range or locked up.
You're not supposed to bring your gun into a gun shop either, but a buddy of mine, I know, every time he goes in, he's carrying because he's carry conceal, and he's not going to do anything wrong in there. He's concealed for good reason. He's military. He's been working security here. He works security forever. He wasn't not doing anything wrong.
Guns allowed on campuses already, but I have no clue.
Well, actually, there was actually something that, and I'm not a Trump guy. I feel that he didn't do justice when he chose a side. I wish he'd have stayed independent, in other words. But he did say something this morning that was kind of surprising to me, and I was almost like, that's not a bad idea. Teachers or staff that are very well trained, have gun safety in mind, being armed. And as far as the gun legislation stuff goes, the thing for me that bothers me the most about any type of gun legislation would be, and that would be like for traditional public forums, would be that the persons who would take the guns would need guns to take the guns. It's a hypothetical where you're still going to have somebody having firearms, so you can't legislate away the guns.
So does anybody know how he acquired the firearm he used? Does anybody know about the history of the shooter himself?
No, but Nee says an empath would have read the room and would have had something to add. Pepper is here to feed his personality disorder. Any thoughts, Pepper?
That's just like your opinion, man.
And Trib1 has an opinion and says, my empath brain is telling me Pepper needs more time in the back. He understands why and feels the same as I do about him being kicked. All right, you got 10 minutes, Pepper. Enjoy.
Yikes!
All right. Anybody have the thoughts on the rifle? I don't know that much about stuff like that.
From what I understood, what I've read so far, because there's been a huge speculation since he's from Utah. He appears to have come from a conservative family. They were very active in gun culture. I don't know how he got that particular weapon, but it does seem as if this is someone who was who grew up in a traditional home, went to college, and for their own reasons went to the other side. That is what I've understood. Yeah, communicated through Discord for what chat is going on about. As to how he got the weapon, it could have been, it's Utah. They could have it was a hunting rifle from what I understand.
Yeah.
He only needed one shot. He only used one shot from what I observed. Yeah, there's not a single gun reform restriction regulation that would have prevented this from happening.
No, from what I understand is he, as you said, he was from a highly conservative gun-owning family. He would be so at one point he dressed up as Donald Trump for Halloween, and he was giving Christmas gifts each year as a rifle home build kit, and he would build his own rifles.
Mhm.
And the reason, and I read a report where he was given that rifle by his parents after having a discussion with them about how he was unhappy with the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk was spreading. And after having this discussion and showing that rifle on a Discord channel where he had, now this is where the failure is, why didn't anybody mention, where he had talked about how he was going to use this weapon. This was from the FBI, how he was going to use this weapon. Then, but one thing I hear a lot of arguments that Charlie Kirk made was that good gun owning, strong gun owning home is the solution to people going out and committing these mass shootings. And in this situation, it very clearly argues against that because the kid was from a heavily conservative gun owning home, and he was very familiar with guns, and instead decided to, as you said, take his own route. So I don't see where that argument holds water, especially in this situation.
Okay, let me introduce you to a concept called per capita. Of all the families, of all the children who are actually raised in a gun familiar environment, how many of them become mass shooters? Just on average.
Over the last decade, several, a lot. A
Really?
lot. Yeah, there's been,
Well,
I
right
could
now I know of
probably
one.
pull up a list of 5, which were mass shooters specifically under Republican
Who grew up
conservative
in
Trump.
gun familiar.
Yes. Shoot. Now, of course, you guys are probably going to fact check this report. I'm not even sure if it's a report that I read, but there are many reports that suggest exactly what I was stating about.
No, well, from what I understand,
Republican gun owner home.
No, from past mass shooters, particularly school shooters, they mostly come from broken homes with single mothers, so on and so forth. This is not the atheistic. Like, we are not talking about an average conservative gun owning family environment. That is not typical.
Oh, I'm not
In
even
fact,
sure
everything
how to
about this
find
case
this.
is very atypical.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and concede on this because right now I can't find the report while I'm talking online. My brain doesn't do 3 things at once.
The majority of people. So when you look at the population, okay, the majority of people are not wealthy. Okay, there's the 20% and there's the 80%. So naturally, the statistics would generically state what you're saying, Shade. So while you're saying that, I'm taking into consideration the actual population of what would be, wealthy and
I don't know. No.
families. That's, it's kind of a non sequitur to say that, well, most of them are from broken homes. Well, yeah, because most people are poor. Most people at the bottom are broken homes. That's just kind of a non sequitur. Like violence is committed more on the 80% than the 20% because it's 80%.
Naomi asked a very good question. What the hell was that squeak?
But if you're really looking at statistics and you're trying to figure out, okay, what's causing this? It's not even statistics. You can't look at statistics. It's education. Okay?
Hey.
And it's more than education. It's a heart condition. Okay. Who really knows what it is that drives a man to go insane and cause harm to his neighbor? Who really knows? Because I don't, except for my evil side inside of me that I might do something bad that I know is bad. And we all have that, right? We all have this imperfection in us. And that's what it is. What causes that man to do all of that? Can you really say? Can you really say? Because I can't. Because I've never done something so terrible.
Yeah, that's a philosophical question that would never be answered, I think.
Right? Now, I've seen these people doing these things in recent times, but it's been happening throughout history. It is not a new thing. And unfortunately, it's not something that is going to stop until Jesus comes back and solves everything. And that's my view of it. But the reality is this is the world we live in. And unfortunately, things are going to happen. And it's absolutely horrible. And there's nothing wrong with feeling some kind of way about that. And I'm happy that people do feel some kind of a way about it because I would prefer that they did the right thing. I hate to see these horrible things happen, and moving forward from it, going back to what we were watching earlier with the lovely lady speaking about her husband, she's moving forward with it. And there's nothing that we can do to legislate away the guns. As I mentioned before, there's absolutely nothing we can do because in order to get that done, you're going to have guns to do it. You're going to have guns to get rid of the guns. And who do you trust more? Yourself with the gun or some guy in DC?
Well, that it's also you can't stuff the rabbit back into the hat type thing. We have at least 1 to 2 guns for every man, woman, and a child alive in the United States of America. Making them illegal, first off, would make criminals out of people who aren't necessarily criminals because they don't want to give up their guns. And second, would, as I said, ultimately create cartels of gun traders, and that's not a safe thing to have. And we see that in Mexico.
And it's only the compliant people who comply, right? So when you say we're going to get rid of bad thing, okay, all the good people who are going to be compliant and follow the laws are going to get rid of what you think is a bad thing. And then now the only people who do have bad thing are bad people. And then now the people who are compliant and could have utilized those as a defense mechanism are now at the mercy of bad people. It just doesn't do anybody any good. Sorry, I don't know what you guys were just talking about.
No, that's absolutely on point for what I was saying.
That was it.
Government.
It was on topic.
Yeah, and again, with Charlie's message always, let's debate it. Let's, change my mind. Change my mind. Let's talk about it. And if we can't come to a consensus about it, because there's no, line that we can draw that says, yeah, we both want to stand on this side and you want to stand on that side and I want to stand on this side of the line, then ultimately we just need to go our separate ways, at least for a little while, and say, okay, let's exercise peace for now. And maybe we can come back to the table. That's called decorum, right? And that's what debating is about. That's what talking is about. That's what his message really was, from what I could tell, just the on surface message. I don't know all the details of his life. Like I said, him and his lovely wife probably, had disagreements at times. I'm sure they didn't agree on every single thing in their life. I hope they agreed on more than they didn't. So,
can you imagine the level of strength it took to sit there and talk in a press conference? Or, I mean, even if it's live on his channel and not necessarily a press conference to discuss that soon afterwards, the level of restraint it would take.
It's courage. It's courage and honor that there's something that she wants to speak about, that continues that message that he spoke about. It's his legacy. It's her legacy. It's, I hate to say it, for the children, as they say, it's for the children.
For the children. I think I'm ready to go to bed.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what I do know about Charlie Kirk is he was big in the colleges, right? He traveled around. He was actually college age when he was on his early tours. And I do know that he was preaching about a lot of crazy people in colleges, being there without merit. He was big attacking the schools, and this happened at a school. And America, they have a long history of crazy people shooting up schools, and since the 1800s, from what I understand. So maybe people need to look into the legitimacy of some of these schools.
As far as those shootings, a lot of those were spread out over decades. It seems over the last decade, it's just which week, what's the weather, what's the national shooting tragedy weather this week.
And Charlie Kirk was saying how crazy some of these people were, and it ended up getting him killed by one of them. I think that's pretty serious, and we need to look into who are these crazy people at schools, because every time you look at these podium speeches, whether it's Ben Shapiro,
you're actually making a good argument there. Change the mind and not the tool. Change the mind of the
look into all these crazy people that are at these events, because if it's not safe for public discourse, we need to get them the hell out of there. They can't be being dangerous in public. And we see it left, right, and center at these places. People are being unhinged at school.
Not every forum is for everybody, and a lot of it takes a self-critiquing, internal critique, so that and sometimes it's not easy. A lot of parents are sending their kids off to these colleges and not really checking up on them, making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. A lot of them are just going out and partying and doing whatever the heck they want. So there's a lot of legitimacy in what you're asking for.
There's a lot of films actually that are based on that topic. People going crazy.
Animal House.
No, but people actually going crazy at school and ending up they're facing a lot of pressure at these schools, learning new information that might not always be
Is it Pay It Forward? That was one.
The most.
I still want to go on that, but I think Sarah wants to go to bed.
You're being indoctrinated about a leftist or a radical viewpoint that some of these radical teachers are preaching to kill, right? So if you're learning certain things about that, I just think that school, for some people, if you're going to go crazy, you don't need to be there. And if your school is teaching these radical positions that are making people crazy, then maybe you should be looked into too, and you don't need to be there.
Accreditation. So
just less crazies involved in teaching and learning.
Well, I think a lot of it comes from what they're being taught. But I also think that we're not institutionalizing people for being crazy anymore, right? We're not making that a priority. We put them in therapy or psychotherapy or give them medications and let them free reign amongst the people. And to me, I think that that's kind of an unsafe approach. If somebody is crazy and can do harm, we need to ensure that the people are safe from that.
Don't you guys agree that you see that a lot when you look at these debates? People actually getting up and being unhinged, leaving violently, just being threatening at these events in the United States. Do you guys see that?
Yes,
it's not
there's
the
a large
overwhelming
population.
Well, this is what happens when people throw temper tantrums. A's philosophy, just an FYI, we're going to shut down Hirsch in just a little bit, but I'll let you have some thoughts too. When people throw temper tantrums, this is what they are. They're temper tantrums. And what happens, the reason why people yell, right, is because they don't think the other person is hearing them. This can happen between parent and child. This can happen between friends, enemies, teachers and students, so on and so forth. We yell because we presume the person isn't hearing us. So we get louder. It's like biologically ticked into us that we do that, right? So what's happening when people
What about for
oh
intimidation?
my God, shut up and let me talk. So what happens is people at these debates or whatever, even at the grocery store, you see people flipping out at grocery stores or restaurants or whatever. It's I'm not getting my way and you're not hearing what I'm saying, therefore I must up the ante, right? I must go higher and above. And what's also happening is I think that people are overstimulated on a daily basis, whether it be social media, too much intake. Like we're not built to soak in so much stimulant in one day, right? So between computer screens, phone screens, TV screens, it's constant stimulation. We're not bored anymore.
You think anyone can take that, or is it just the weak that are cracking?
So because people don't know how to put the phone down and go touch grass, they're stimulated. So then when they actually engage with somebody in real life, now all of those stimulations are coming out with their real life engagements. So maybe I see something on social media that pisses me off. Maybe I'm watching a YouTube show and I'm in the chat and I'm arguing with people in the chat. My emotions are flowing, but it's not being rechanneled anywhere, right? So then when I go out into the real world and I engage with people in real life, now all of that energy is coming outward on them because now I'm responding to something that person is saying, like I'm not getting my way or nobody's hearing me or whatever. And all of that social media behavior now comes out, unfortunately, with consequences. And that's what it's all social media, too much stimulation, too much shit. We didn't have this problem as bad in the 90s, if you noticed that, but we also
The 90s were crazy. The 80s were crazy too. There was there was a killing in Montreal
No, bro. We
didn't have the instant access to.
No, we didn't have all that.
What about the Unabomber? That shit was way before social media.
We were kids. We were kids.
I'm just saying.
He's not getting it. What I'm saying is, like, we see more of like this. We could call it Karen behavior. For lack of a better term, or people like wigging out at these debates and yelling and spurging, even on our own screens.
Well, I think people have been doing that forever, since the 60s. They were doing it, with the Vietnam War. You're trying to paint.
Why do so many of your sentences begin right in the middle of her sentences, such as mine right now? Why is it you keep cutting people off? Let her talk.
I'm done. We're done. I'm going to bed. I've got a headache. All right, let's go ahead and start. A's philosophy. I do apologize. I'll let you have some final closing thoughts. If you want to go ahead and kick us off.
I appreciate that. I joined a minute after.
Am I wrong?
I hold on. I won't take long.
Take your time.
I have no idea what was said or discussed because I joined I started watching right before I joined the panel. So I can't contribute anything meaningful, and it probably won't relate it to anything that was said. But I will say it seems about Charlie Kirk. So I just want to say he was kind of someone who inspired me. I don't agree with anything. I don't agree with everything anyone says, but I just feel like he was kind of the kind of person that represents the idea of engaging the other side and having a conversation. And yeah, he had some controversial views that I can understand how some people would find them offensive, but the idea that this happened to him and his whole message was engaging and talking and having dialogue. I've been really sad over the course of the last couple of days, and I guess I just wanted to say I hope that ideal of standing for your truth and communicating with the other side, it's the only way to really heal the bridges between us without violence. So people on both sides just need to take. I don't want his passing to be in vain. We need to communicate with each other. We need to talk with each other, and we need to try and find, if this country is going to be united again, like our name says, obviously the United States, peacefully, then doing what Charlie Kirk did was the only way. And obviously, Irina's in the title as well, so I'll mention her. That's obviously very tragic what happened to her. And we just need to take time to think about the problems in our society and how to fix them. And I guess I'll just leave it there. Thank you for bringing me on.
Yeah, absolutely. I do apologize for the short time frame for you. I have been going since like 5 p.m. It's now almost 11, so it's been a while. This is like this is usually like 3. This is usually like 3 a.m. for me, and I'm like burnout, and I'm done. And we were on Fatty's panel tonight, and that one kind of took a little effort for me to sit through. But thank you, A. We appreciate you popping on. Sarcastic Saint, my little shit.
Hey, you guys have said enough about Charlie Kirk, so I'm not going to mention anything about that. But Pepper, I want to say something to you. And
of course, I knew it.
Yes, I would say I would say the same thing to Tied Up and Duck and Ryan. Stop interrupting Sarah. Okay.
I know. I just hear some things where it's like, is that true?
No. You need to understand. You need to understand when she talks. You need to shut up. Okay. I'm sick and tired of seeing people come.
Oh, boo hoo! Cry me a river.
You know what? I can't.
Cry me a fucking river.
You are
don't give more money to get me off screen.
You are very disrespectful. You are very disrespectful towards Sarah. You are very disrespectful.
No, I respect her.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I do.
Tied Up doesn't respect her. You don't respect her.
Oh, that's not true.
No, you don't.
I actually don't know when I'm allowed to speak. That's how much I'm respecting her. I'm not sure if I should speak, if I'm allowed to. No, you shut up. Let me respond. Suck my dick.
No. If you shut up.
No, you shut up. I'm talking now. So I do respect her. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Okay. Hey.
Sometimes I don't know if it's okay to speak, but I think we're on a talk show. Okay? If I feel it, let's speak.
You know what, Pepper? All you are is just full of bullshit.
I'm not anything. I'm not anything in your little box.
Yes, you are.
Man, I don't drink a bunch. I think I'm going to need a drink after this.
You know, Pepper, you need to learn the rules.
What?
You need to learn the rules.
Oh, fuck off.
No, I ain't gonna fuck off because I've been with Sarah for almost a year now. And I'm tired of seeing people disrespect her. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of disrespecting her. I'm sick and tired of disrespecting her.
You're gonna white knight her?
No, I'm not white knight her. I'm being
you 100%
I'm being
are.
Her mod,
she can handle herself.
I'm being her mod. I'm telling you the rules, okay?
If I was a guy, would you say the same thing, that he's white knighting for me?
No, I'd be going harder at you.
Kind of sexist.
Sarcastic Saint, are you done, my darling?
Yes, honey, I'm done. Okay.
Fair enough.
Night.
You too, Saint. Pepper. I appreciate you. I got the best fucking mods in the house. That's right, including my little shit
Night,
Saint.
guys.
Good night, Saint. Pepper, to you, sir. Final words.
No, I do feel what you know, his wife is going through it. It sucks that something like that has to happen, and it happens. Well, I mean, it happens randomly. You know, your heroes, some crazy person wants to attack them, right? Like John Lennon, Dimebag Darrell, some of my heroes that this senseless craziness happened to, or, you know, like they're just out on a public event as a figure, and someone disagrees, or someone is in, we don't even know why. I don't think, or do we understand the motive? You know, it can be for just people being crazy and hyped up on some idealism that's unsafe. And we need to watch out for people that are filling the young people's minds up with radical ideology that can turn people into killers for the opposing side. So I think free speech needs to be handled more properly with proper security, and don't allow for silly things like that on our campuses. People are there to learn, and they need to learn in a safe environment. And it's too bad. It's too bad that there's a widow and an empty household over politics. You know, he wasn't even in a position of power, as far as I'm understanding. He was a speaker. He was a young politician, right? So it's just crazy. It's just crazy that this would happen. And you know, sympathy out to the family.
Thank you, Pepper. Okay, to you.
First thing is that I've never liked Charlie Kirk. I've never liked anything that he had to say, his opinions on policy. I always found it very problematic. I came home on the 10th from a doctor's appointment, and I sit down at my computer and I turn it on, and I see the headlines on the streams that I watch that Charlie Kirk has been shot, and my heart drops in my stomach immediately. I'm like, oh my God, no, please, no, let this not be so. The moment that I found out that he had passed, I cried, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
Oh my God.
I cried for the man. I cried for his loss. I cried because this is an attack on liberalism itself. What was done to Charlie Kirk was terrible. It was wrong. It was completely unjustifiable. While I may disagree with Charlie Kirk's opinions and the things he had to say, he was doing it the right way. He was doing it the liberal way. He was coming to his opponents with his words, and they engaged with words. And that is the way to do it. We do not engage with violence. This is wrong, and we should always reject that.
Amen.
So while I am on the other side of the political spectrum, I can say unequivocally and without any remorse, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
Thank you, Kay. Zers, to you.
Man almighty, several topics came up waiting for my closing statements that I totally wanted to dig into. But I would like to say that my primary idea is that we need to treat all loss of life equally, not just those that are lost in, like, let's say, school shootings, also individuals who are violently attacked, like the young lady on the train. So was it a train or a bus? I can't remember. Anyway. but the young lady was tech. We need to treat them all equally, and I don't believe we should have people silencing freedom of speech in this way. I don't believe that you should stifle your speech, but I believe that when you're in a position such as Charlie, when you're in a position where you have reached to the heart of America, or at least a portion of the heart of America, you have to be very careful of whose temperature you're raising. I understand that you have to raise the temperature in order to get a movement to move forward, but you have to also be concerned of how high that temperature is being raised. And I think that is kind of being neglected in today's political atmosphere.
Thank you, sirs. Shade Master, to you.
I'm also going to start with Irania, because this is where this all started, to be honest. This has been one hell of a week for everyone, for the nation. And the reason I want to start there is because watching the video of her, seeing her there, seeing her grown up and helpless on that train, and then to fast forward not a few more days and to see that video of Charlie's little girl running up to him from behind the backstage on the set. I have two younger daughters who are 9 and 6 years old, and they look like both of those girls. They look like Irania they might look like Irania when they grow up. And they look very much like that little girl that ran up to Charlie in the middle of that set. This is emotional for all of us. It's been one hell of a week. And I'd like to thank Dave for your words, for your sentiments, even though Charlie was on the other side. But I do need to confirm as to why you felt that in your stomach and those tears, because I am not a moderate. I am a radical. I'm from the other side. And I'm from the other side that when we heard that Charlie had died, one, we didn't believe it. We didn't believe it. We thought it was a psyop. We thought it was bullshit. And then when it actually came to the fact that he was in fact dead, that someone had killed him for what he believed and for the things he was saying, our fear was just as palpable as yours. Because what now? What's left? And the temperature is going to rise. Because there is a whole legion of former moderates who have nowhere else to go, but further to wherever they were going to go. And it's going to be hell. Because the side I'm on, they're not letting up. For nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely, there's no reason to. There's no longer a political viable pathway to nonviolence. Every other path, it seems, has just been blocked off or told, this is a dead end for you, and we will kill you for it. And that's a scary place to live in. But we're going to be living in it for at least the next 6 months. It's going to be a wild ride. And I hope that all of the good ones make it.
Thank you, Shade Master. Brick, to you.
Oh. I can't imagine Charlie being a bad guy. I just can't imagine him being a bad guy. That's just not in my head. I saw him talking to people on campuses. That's what I saw. I saw him talking to people. I didn't see him getting into fights with people and hurting people. I didn't see that. I never saw that. I don't know if you guys have a clip. Show it to me. I've never seen it. That's what the bad guy does. The bad guy goes out and fights with people. He goes out and hurts people. I never saw him doing that. So the guy seemed like a decent guy. If you're out there doing that, if you're going out there hurting people, that makes you the bad guy. The guy who shot him, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. Charlie's not the bad guy here. For anybody who's sitting there glorifying this guy, look, you can have your opinions about what policies and things. You don't even know the law half the time. That's the crazy part about it. You don't even know the law. The First Amendment, the right to believe what you want to believe, the right to say what you want to say, the right to write what you want to write, the right to go where you want to go in public, and the right to petition your court. That's what the First Amendment is. But that right to speech, the guy stood for it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Shouldn't we all want to stand for the right to be able to say what you want to say and to believe what you want to believe? I mean, that's not a bad thing in my humble opinion. In fact, you got people all over the country who believe in Christian values. You got some Muslim values out there. You got some Buddhist values, some atheist religions of all types. Harming people is a bad thing. You get to believe that you can harm people, but you don't get to harm people. There's a difference there, okay? There are real
hard line. Don't hurt
Pepper,
people.
Calm down. Pepper, calm down.
It's closing statements, for fuck's sake.
You don't.
It's a hard line. Bad thing.
Okay,
Hurt
it's
people
closing. It's closing statements.
you.
It's just closing statements. It's just closing fucking statements. Everybody was quiet during yours, Pepper. Go ahead.
Thank you, Sarah. You don't get to harm people. That's the law. That is the law. And when we're speaking about man's law and God's law, when we're speaking about man's law and God's law, okay, what we've done in this experiment we have here is we've tried to align it as closely, man's law, with God's law. We've tried to do that, and we're doing it. We're doing it pretty good, in my humble opinion. You get to believe what you want to believe. You do. That's a choice. And from my understanding, that's what God's allowed. I'm a God believer. But I wanted to read a scripture. It's from Galatians, about the fruit of the Spirit. It speaks about God's law. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against these things, there is no law. Against those things, there's no such law. So I wanted to leave you guys with that, because that scripture right there, those fruits, you will know those people who bear those fruits, they will be God's people. And that's my humble opinion. And I hope and I pray that we can all find peace. And I really do appreciate that the lovely lady was able to speak so rapidly and so fervently about her husband. Thank you, Sarah.
Absolutely. My final thoughts here are, Charlie could have been any one of us. We are in the debate space. This is what we do. And we thrive on the idea that we have places to go where we can share our opinions openly, unless you're a fucking asshole and I got to put you backstage. Overall, I think that's probably what hits the most in our community, is knowing that this is what we do. This is what we live for. This is why we're here. And for somebody to be killed for that is a very scary thought. Because we engage in this on a daily basis, and knowing that, we're behind our computer screens. I mean, we're not in front of these people. We're not at a bar. We're not publicly out there in the middle of a college, putting ourselves out there publicly like that. A lot of us do thrive on the idea of privacy to our names, to our families, our personal lives. And Charlie put all of that out there. He put every single bit of it out there, and he put himself, at risk for the purpose of being able to have open conversation. He he did that for us to have that example and to follow that example. And he wanted people to come and engage. And, and it's upsetting that somebody took that away, not only from him, but from all of us in a lot of ways. We're going to be rating Grid 1. We're going to send you guys over there for a little debate panel. Maybe it will up the spirits a little more. I'm sorry that we kind of went into a very sad direction, but Kay, what you said really got me. It hit me right in the feels. But it's very respectable of what you said and how you said it. It's very meaningful. Outside of that, guys, fuck off.
So some.
Captain's log, June 2nd, 2836. After 27 years of war between the Degen Coomers and the Sainthood Slayers, a new hope arises. As the battlefield lay weaponized, locked and loaded for destruction, negotiations for a peace treaty are in transition. The moderator has arrived at Station 42. Can this war be ended? Will the Coomers and Slayers find a middle ground?
Abort mission. I repeat, abort mission. Negotiation failure. Abort mission.
Heavy bogey 6+, low orbit over grid 15-2. No joy, Yashiman. Then go to your window and look up their biggest fracking asteroid. Copy, Yashiman. Still blind. Got some kind of system-wide crash in the defense grid. Go untrack yourself right goddamn now, because we got Boku inbound, and they're not carrying flow. Wait one, Yashiman. We don't have one.